I've been thinking a lot about prayer this week as God has been working with me and trying to teach me about prayer so that I might be able to teach you. Some of us have the wrong idea about prayer. Here's some of our thoughts about prayer. You don't have to raise your hand or anything, but I think some of you are going to identify with some of these. One thought we might have is that prayer for some people is kind of like a heavenly slot machine. You know, the one-armed bandits. Oh, don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I've never done that, Pastor Mark. You know, well, you just keep on pulling that slot machine. And you hope that this time you're going to get lucky. You just keep plugging it in, and maybe this will be the time, right? And sometimes we treat prayer like that. God hasn't answered my prayer yet, but if I just keep on talking to him about it, if I just keep on requesting, if I just keep on asking, I just keep on pulling that prayer slot machine, maybe this will be the time that I get lucky. That's not prayer. That's not how God works. Some of us treat prayer, and if there's any dentists here, please forgive me, all right? But some of us treat prayer like going to the dentist. It's something that we know we should do, but we really put it off as long as we can, for some of us, right? Oh, man, you know. I personally, Rose Abruzzi, if you're listening to this online, I apologize. I love you. You're a wonderful dentist, and I can't wait to see you to the next time. Lord, forgive me for lying. No, okay. So I have a great relationship with Rose. She is a wonderful dentist, and I love seeing her. But, you know, just the thought of somebody being in your mouth, right? It's just not the most pleasant of ideas. And for some of you, maybe prayer is like going to a dentist. It's something you got to do, and you're going to get to it, but you'll do almost anything else before. Prayer is not like a slot machine, a heavenly slot machine. Prayer is not like going to the dentist. And then thirdly, prayer is not like the 911 emergency call that you make. So some of you know what this is. You wait till it's an emergency, and then when all else fails, you dial 911 to call for help. But it's like the last thing you do. That's not what prayer is like. The Bible tells us that prayer is when we simply talk to him. And we could talk about this a lot, but I just want to give you 3 ideas about talking to God. You talk to God first. Talk to God first. First thing, as soon as you're worried, as soon as you have a concern, don't let God be the last to know, but the first. You need to get into that habit. Pray at the beginning of each day. Pray at the beginning of each new problem. Don't let God be the last, let God be the first. And secondly, tell God about your real concerns, not your fake concerns. Tell God about your real concerns. Sometimes we don't even know the words to say. Sometimes, have you ever known this? Things are bothering you, and you don't even know why. You can't even put your finger on it. But trust me, God knows you even better than you know yourself. And you can simply say, God, I know that something's going on in my life, and I don't know what it is, but I know that you know. You know how I'm feeling. Talk to him about what you really care about your real concerns. And then thirdly, pray to him, talk to him, not just about your real concerns, but as specifically as you can. Be specific. Prayer is not so much informing God of our need as much as it is depending upon him in our need. The more specifically you ask, the more specifically you are depending upon him. Now, let me tell you something about God's answers. Everybody get confused about this. Because we say, God doesn't answer my prayer. I want you to know God always answers your prayer. Sometimes it's just not the answer you're looking for. Okay? We're looking for that yes answer. But sometimes it's not yes. Sometimes, especially if the request is wrong, God says no. But that's an answer. Sometimes the request is wrong. He says no. Sometimes it's not the request is wrong, but the timing is wrong. And so God may say, not yet. My request is wrong. It's no. If the timing isn't just right, it may be not yet. So God says, slow. Just go slow. It's not no. Just go slow. Sometimes I need just to wait and hear his voice so that I have a clearer sense of direction. Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes it's slow. And then sometimes, if I'm moving in the wrong direction, God says, grow. Grow. I'll sense some challenges in my life. I'll run into some dead ends. Some things aren't going to be working the way that I think that they should be working. And that's when I need to grow. I'll then see some of the challenges in my life as a chance to mature my faith. But if the request is right and the timing is right and you are right in your heart, sometimes God says, go. Go. So whether the answer is no, slow, grow, or go, I have received an answer. And it all starts with talking to God first about your real concerns as specifically as you can.